I mean, there's really not much I can say about the latest episode of Demon Slayer. It was very heartwarming, very nice to see. It was actually a good episode as well. Here we are with Tanjiro getting back into training, warming himself up. I mean, he's been out, trying to recover his body and such, and it seems he has some new scars on his body. But if you notice, a lot of the Hashiras, the different characters through demon fighting, have a lot of scars in their body because of this battle with demons. The key is this episode was actually pretty straightforward because it was all about Tanjiro and all about his training with the former Hashira here, which we all saw the Entertainment District arc. To see that actually this Hashira lives and has a life after such a momentous battle taken on one of the upper moons, that, he lost his eye, he lost his arm, but he's still able to have a time with his 3 wives as a former ninja, and he's able to train everyone else. And his training is like basic level training. Like his training is supposed to be where everyone goes to first and then they move on to the actual Hashira's training. So his is all about, honestly, the basic things: cardio, running, and keeping your body in shape, so then that way they can go on to the specialties. So overall, Tanjiro, man, he aced this part. It wasn't even close. I even said in my reaction, which you can find on Patreon if you haven't already signed up, definitely check that out. I was saying how it was the other guys have been there for like a week or so, and Tanjiro's only training for like 2 days. He's only there for a couple of days. He's like, all right, I'm ready. Let's move it right along. He's come a long way from where he was when we first saw him, like in the first season, and trying to understand and get everything together. He is definitely something that these other guys look up to. So here it is. The former Hashira actually came up with a great idea. He was saying, okay, we're not going to go running. We're actually going to practice at night in the dark, which at first I was like, wait, that's a great idea, because the demons often attack at night. Perfect training, because you got to train in a way that will help you against your enemy. In this case, they're up against demons. Demons do often attack at night. So if that's the case, you should be training at night. And this is what they did, which was just smart on his part as a trainer and former Hashira. So their battle here, Tanjiro not only is holding his own against the former Hashira, he's doing such a great job of it. And in this process, he's actually inspiring the other guys that are training here, that have been here for a long time, who have been defeated. And you can see at the beginning of the episode, they barely have any energy. They can barely do anything. Tanjiro comes on the scene. They ask him questions like, oh man, how was it fighting some of the upper moons, and how's it all work out? And he kind of scares them a little bit, but after they see how hard Tanjiro is fighting, it's crazy how they're like, oh, he's a former Hashira, we can never do anything. And the way he came up is like, is that how you're going to act against demons? I'm like, thank you. Come on, stop being a defeatist this early. So they see Tanjiro holding his own, and they're like, you know what? Let's help out. And I gotta give it to Tanjiro that not only is he becoming stronger in his own right, but through his strength, he is actually inspiring those around him to stop being side characters and actually try to do something. They start thinking about, you know what, we may not be as strong as you guys, but we will try our hardest and become stronger to where maybe we can help out in some way. And I'm like, thank you, stop being NPCs and actually step yourself up. So by the end of this, they were mentally better, and you can kind of see how they were actually participating in the training and getting better at it. Aside from that, the only real thing that scares me is this part here. We see as some guys were out patrolling at night, lollygagging and whatever. I thought they were gonna die. But we see that a eyeball, very small eyeball, is like patrolling and I guess trying to spy out what is happening. I'm really scared about this because if you notice, it shows this eyeball in the theme song and it shows that it's troubling Nezuko. So I'm like, they better not capture or do something to Nezuko, because come on now, it's Nezuko. Don't do anything to her. But the Hashiras and everyone there, their whole goal is to protect Nezuko because the demons want her, especially Muzan. So I'm hoping that nothing happens to Nezuko, but with the theme song kind of showing her distress and such, I'm a little hesitant, like, oh, great. And we saw how the Hashiras, we had the Snake Hashira and the Wind Hashira discussing what they had seen from the first episode of the season, and I'm surprised they haven't brought this up to the other Hashiras. Like, hey, we were patrolling this castle, we dove in, and then we saw something weird. It was like these doors everywhere. No, they're just keeping it to themselves. And of course they're talking about it, and then they decide, hey, we need to fight each other. I guess as a means to make themselves stronger, and makes sense. You know, Hashiras, they want to get stronger, so they spar against each other, which is perfectly fine, and it would be pretty cool. Because if it's any indication, we know Tanjiro now is going to the Mist Hashira to have his sword fighting training. So if the Hashiras themselves, I don't know if this is going to turn into some type of tournament arc, but if they're battling against each other, then they can sharpen each other, get better in their skills, and then kill these demons better in better ways. But we'll see what happens. Otherwise, that was pretty much it for the episode. It's pretty straightforward and a training arc. So I'm looking forward to next week, because if Tanjiro has to kind of battle the Mist Hashira, and maybe he can learn some basic sword fighting techniques that can help improve his breathing techniques in the long run. So it'd be pretty cool to reunite, and maybe they share some more about themselves. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, that's going to be it for this discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe for more, because we'll definitely cover this and several other anime here on the channel. You guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.